Welcome to another episode of Carolina Outdoors. We're largemouth fishing on Lake Hartwell with Jamie Pierce. And Jamie's already got us in some fish today. Boat flipping me a little bit. Doing a little sight fishing and catching largemouth. Y'all stay tuned for more Carolina Outdoors.
Cloud cover today, it might want a different color.
Yeah, it's supposed to get cloudier as the day goes on.
You get clouds though, you need wind.
Yeah, I know.
you need it all, or you don't need none of it. Wind and sun's fine. I don't really like cloud. I feel like a fish can, when it's cloudy, a fish, when he looks up from the bottom, they can see
you better.
They can see the bait better.
Okay.
You know, because there's no glare.
Yeah.
So when you're moving artificial baits and, you know, it's flashing or whatever with the sun, they kind of can't pick it out. But when it's cloudy, man, that's just, it can be really tough. So what I'm actually looking for, I figured out these fish are on these secondary points like this one right here. So what I'm looking for is real deep banks going back to the spawning flats. I just feel like these fish are traveling really good and they're staging here. That way if they get up here to start to spawn in this flat area and it gets real cold or something, they pull off, they don't have to go far to get back. So I'm looking for these real tight contour lines and these little secondary points. So these 2 points back in here should be pretty good, which is where we're headed. But we're gonna fish these banks here, try to catch a staging fish. If not, that means they moved up in the spawning flat.
Right.
We're gonna start right here on this corner and work our way back in there. Man, it draws you a map. I mean, if you know, they're hard to catch sometimes.
Yeah.
But there is a good map of what they're doing, you know, if you can figure out where they're at.
Right.
There's good roadways. I mean, it's plain as day, but sometimes they just don't want to bite.
What was that? I don't know what that was there. Might have been, yeah.
Hey, throw it back in there. Can't see it.
Yeah. Feel like he's running straight to me with it.
Can't see it, but he probably picked it up and moved it out.
He was kind of up in the water, cause it looked like he just kind of sank down in the water column, you know.
Got him going. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah, you sure can't. Just picked it up. Just thought he picked it up.
First catch of the day.
First catch of the day.
A limb brim.
Is it hickory or oak or pine?
It's a limb brim. You can tell they've been biting that thing. Look at it. They wore the paint off of it.
Yep. So you've been down here pre-fishing, getting ready for this tournament coming up tomorrow.
Right.
Now, so how many did you catch some good fish yesterday? I mean, what's the difference between today and yesterday?
So yesterday, I basically went around doing similar to what we're doing. I caught 15 fish pretty easily.
Right.
You know, the fish are still there. It's just the conditions have changed today, and we're just having to adapt to that. Basically, we're having to slow down and fish a little different than I fished yesterday. I'm fishing the same places. The fish are in the same spots. But it took us a little while this morning to figure out that what I was catching on yesterday weren't working. We had to switch it up, and we're going a little bit more finesse, which seems to be starting to work. This one right there seems to be starting to work a little bit. So hopefully we can continue to get some bites. And
we've had some good bites.
Well,
We just things like that, just missing a fish.
I think we've lost 4 or 5, and
Yes.
it's a sign that the fish are being real finicky. They're just not taking the bait real good.
And we had some schooling right there earlier.
Same way though, they hit it and just couldn't keep them buttoned up. So we're gonna have to concentrate a little bit harder on making sure they take it good. So when we set the hook, we got it.
Right. All right, tell me what you was talking about. You know, we missed 2 or 3 bites right here in a row.
So what I think is happening here, these fish are on the bed, okay?
Right.
So they're spawning. They're not really wanting to eat.
Yeah.
We talked about this earlier. So they're picking it up, they're grabbing it probably about right there. And what you got to do is we got to give them, you got to really let them take it and get that whole thing in their
Right.
mouth. But unfortunately, with the way the spawn stage that they are in, you're gonna miss some. I mean,
Right.
some of them's gonna be swinging.
That's just kind of this time of year.
It's gonna be the time of year. Yeah. We
Right.
just got to keep our head down and keep digging, and we'll get them.
All right. Throw there. Glasses missed. We might have had to stop it. I thought it was going over that rope.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't see it till I threw. All these floating dots on Hartwell.
Oh man.
Ain't used to these back here in Greenwood. Everything got wood pylons drove to the ground.
Well, and them, like you say, those cables play tricks on
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dinner bell for him.
Yeah. We'll get this one lay down once you get on out.
All right.
Go try some fish.
Well, Jamie, when you ain't fishing, what do you do for a living? I mean, what else you doing? What got going on in your life?
Man, what I do, I sell basically rural land real estate. Advanced Land and Timber specializes, and we sell in like 11 states. And what we sell is hunting land, farmland, you know, not typically your houses, but we sell like farms with houses. You
Right.
know, that's our niche. And the trick to that is, you know, is really having knowledge in what land is worth. You know, you got to understand the dirt, you got to understand the timber, you got to understand the farmland, and then you got
Right.
to understand what the best use for it is. Cigar. You know, and we have been very successful. I specialize mainly in southeastern North Carolina. I sell really all types. You know, when you go into a piece of land, a buyer comes to you because they want to know what you can do with it. You know, how can you create a hunting piece of land, or how can you create a farm pasture, just
Right.
different things. So that's our niche. You know, we have several nice properties in North Carolina at the moment. You know, if anybody's looking, they ought to go look
Right.
to see. But we're always looking for new property. So if you have a farmland that you are, or any kind of land that you're looking at selling that's vacant, give us a call. I mean, we really specialize in it, and we're always looking for stuff to sell.
Right. Well, we're doing the same thing we've been doing. We're working
That's a large one.
working these banks,
Keep them coming. Let's get that
catching
in there.
schooling fish. Baby, come on. Yeah. Ain't nothing like when a largemouth sets a hook in there.
Large one. I mean, better one. Get him on there.
There we go. Well, the worm's still paying off, ain't it?
Still paying off, man. Little largemouth.
Yeah.
Got it down here.
Hey, I'll see if I can get my finger down in there. So what we've been doing is still the same concept. Once we find a little.
Yeah, we've been right here in this same cove. We got two things going on. The fish are spawning, and we're catching them on the worms,
Right.
and also they're chasing shad in the middle here. We just got to keep doing it back and forth, and we're going to eventually get them. I mean, we've caught them 4 right here in the last few minutes.
And so a weight, you know, you fishing this tournament tomorrow. What kind of weight would you be looking for saying going to tournament?
I mean, honestly, I'm trying to catch 15,
Right.
5 fish, 15 pounds is what I'm looking for. So I got to get them a little bigger than that.
Right,
but,
yeah.
But at least we're on the right pattern.
Well, that's right. You catching bites, and we've seen bigger fish, and you've hooked up with some bigger fish that
Right.
came off.
That's
But
correct.
we can get him back in the water. We'll be right back with some more Carolina Outdoors. Now, Jamie, we've started fishing these docks, and we've been fishing a certain depth, and it took us a second to find where these fish was doing today. I mean, what led you to take this approach to it? And you said you've seen several different things to try, and we was going to try.
Yeah. So What's going on? I know this time of year that the fish are going to the bank, okay?
Right.
What's happened on this lake in the last 2 weeks is the lake has come up almost 2 foot in 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right, so what I'm kind of doing is we kind of started out at the old water line, and what we did was we just kept fishing that old water line area. And what I mean by that is the underwater.
The structure that was under the water.
There was a spot where you can see old grass and old.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the fresh water is from there up to the bank. Okay.
Right.
So we started there and really weren't getting any bites. Well, all of a sudden we figured out that from there up to the bank that we started getting bites.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have kind of got the depth of the water figured out. We just got to put the fish in the boat. So
Right.
we're gonna keep at it. That's our first top water fish of the day.
And he actually trailed it a little bit, didn't he?
Trailed him coming like a shark, didn't he?
He sure did.
Man,
right
these
behind.
little spots are just.
You know, that's another thing. I want to talk about these, you know, these spots have come into South Carolina. They call them Alabama bass spots.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, this is a fish that's actually invasive and it's taking over our waters. I mean.
So this fish is just so aggressive. I mean, you see he's not but 12 inches long probably.
Right.
And I mean, look at the bait that he went after.
Right.
I mean, so they're
half his size.
So they're just so much more aggressive than a largemouth. They're actually breeding them out in a lot of lakes.
So they will interbreed with a largemouth.
Yeah, there's some hybrids and some different things.
I know one of the things is here in South Carolina that we have is a red-eye Coosie bass, and I heard they actually breeding those out too.
Yes.
They're actually endangered now.
Right.
Because they will interbreed with those. And smallmouth too, I believe. They interbreed with smallmouth.
Smallmouth's pretty aggressive fish too.
Right.
So it's not quite as bad, but.
Which we don't have none of this way in this lake. Is there any smallmouth in Hartwell?
It's not that I'm aware of.
You're right.
There is, or in some of the deep holes, but the thing about them are, I mean, they're fun to catch, but there's just no weight for you in a tournament. I mean,
Yeah.
you can go back and forth down here and catch them, and they're a lot
Right.
of fun, you know, to go out fun fishing. But you really need those largemouths for the heavy weight. Now, some spots get nice, but they don't get like the largemouth.
Right.
So we're gonna keep searching for some largemouth.
So a big spot would be, you know, 3-4 pounds. That's a heck of a spot.
A 3 pound would be a big spot.
Right.
You know, 4 pounds would be a big one. But, you know, this time of year, there's gonna be largemouth laid up that are 5 to 7 pounds.
That's right. Loaded with eggs and
Yep.
right.
And that's what we're looking for.
Right.
So, but hey, I'll catch them. They're fun to
Yeah,
catch.
that's right. They're fun to catch.
So maybe we can get on some more.
So you still looking for the schools out here?
Yeah. So them, for some reason, the shad is out here in the middle. I've seen them kind of blow up in and out. So I'm just trying to see if we can catch some fish schooling right off the.
And you can just see we're working two different things. I'm working piers on here, and you trying to work out the back of the boat, where they keep running them shad up.
That's right. You know, that's a good way to fill your boat up quick.
Right.
And get on a good school. I mean,
So we done caught fish on the
we
bank.
got on them over there earlier, missed a couple.
Right.
And you know, we ain't gone far. They hadn't moved.
Which I tell you something else to me when it's sunny. And like I said, I don't bass fish nowhere near as much as you, but when it's sunny like that, I think, to me it seems like they like more of them shady spots, getting around piers and.
They definitely do. And there's nothing wrong with the sun. I just like having multiple conditions. Like if it's sunny, you know, give me wind.
Right.
Something to break the water. If it's cloudy, give me wind also. Just, you know, I would rather have sunny and windy than cloudy and windy, just because I feel like the fish can really pick your bait out
Right.
in this cloudy condition. And when you don't have no sun, I mean no wind with the clouds, the water still, they can really pick out what you're doing. So, you know, you just need to really catch them good. I just feel like you need a couple things going on. And then you add the spawn time of year in, you know, the fish is not that active anyway. You just gotta keep digging until you're searching, in a tournament situation, you're searching for 5 bites.
Right.
I mean, that's all you're doing. You're trying to catch 5 good bites. You know.
Well, I see we're trying the same approach, and all of a sudden we come up on another school like we was looking for earlier, right?
Yeah.
And that's a lot better fish there. That's a lot what we're looking for, ain't it?
Yeah, this is more. I don't want to get no trouble.
Yeah, that's right. So talk a little bit about what setup you got right here.
So what I'm throwing here, this is the Douglas 6.8, 10 to 15 pound. It is a great jerkbait rod.
Right.
And the key here is, you see how that fish, I mean, he come to get it, but it actually hooked him right on the outside.
Right.
There. And if that rod didn't have that good action to really allow the fish to pull and not pull that hook out, I would not have got that fish in. But this is a fat little spot. They're feeding on shad. We're seeing them feeding, and we're starting to figure it out.
Right.
So we're going.
So what the pound test line you got here?
The trick to it, to get the jerk bait to work right, is I'm throwing a 10-pound test fluorocarbon.
Okay.
Okay. And that'll get that bait to go down some.
And allows you to get a little more distance, use that lighter line too, right?
That's
So
correct.
especially if you see them schooling like we just had, you can get it out there to them.
And the trick to that is, when you're going down the bank to see them, you got to have something you pull right up and fire over
Right.
them and get them.
Right.
Sure did.
We'll put him back in the water.
Let's keep it going.
Yes, sir. We'll be right back with more Carolina Outdoors. Better? Oh yeah. And so you guys throwing a top water plug now. We've been fishing with a worm, a jerk bait. Come on, swing him on by. But we fished with a worm, a jerk bait. Now you got a top water plug over here. See what we're gonna see here. Oh yeah, stay down. Come on, come on. Yes, sir.
Now we're getting somewhere.
That's the fish you're looking for come tournament day, ain't it?
Yep. Come on, baby. You get that one a treble.
Yeah, that's right.
There's already spawned out, boy.
Yes, he is, ain't it?
Yep.
Thin down the side, huh?
All right.
Now that fish there just sucked it in too. I mean, you seen it just. Now we've seen these fish once again. He was on the bank, so I reckon he's been laid out. He's back feeding up again, starting back the whole process
Yes,
back over.
This fish is basically already spawned out. You can
Right.
just tell he's got a little rough.
I
on
see
the
it.
tail.
Yeah.
He don't have no gut at all. You know, so he's about to start feeding up and head back out. You know.
They start the whole process over again. It's eating,
It's
procreating.
It's definitely been a tough day. We this morning was a long time before a bite, but we finally figured them out. We were catching most of our fish on shaky head, a couple on jerk bait and top water.
That's right.
And you know, we've stuck it out and we've figured out a pattern, and I'm ready for a tournament tomorrow.
It's a little bit of everything what we've done. You know,
but
you see how many rods we got sitting at all these different baits, and it's constantly throwing something different at them.
Well, here's the thing. We have caught them on different baits, but the fish are doing the same thing.
Right.
There is a pattern here.
Yep.
These fish here in this cove are all chasing bait.
Right.
'Cause
like you were saying a while ago, we got all the stages of the process. You sitting out here catching schooling fish just laid out up on the bank. I'm throwing a worm, catching spawning fish, all in one area.
Yep. So this is obviously a good side of the lake. This morning we were on the other side and we really weren't getting anything. So I think that these fish on this side are a little more active.
And I'll tell you another thing you said, like, you know, as the day went on, but what you was looking for was just a little bit more wind to make the baits look a little better.
Right. As soon as we started getting wind, a little bit of cloud and sun, just a little mixture, like I was talking about earlier, needing two conditions. I like having a couple conditions to kind of really fire them up. And it's worked. I mean, in the last couple hours, I think we put 5 in the boat maybe in the last hour and a half.
Right,
really.
yeah, it really has been.
So let's keep fishing.
It's like it turned on. Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Oh, one more thing. Let's talk about Advanced Land and Timber. You want to mention it one more time?
So, you know, we're all over. We're in like 11 states. We have really good markets. We need buyers and sellers. If you are looking to sell or buy, look us up on advancedlandandtimber.com. We can definitely help you in your process.
Yes, sir. Well, let's get this fish back in the water. We're going to do some more fishing, guys, but that's all the time we have for today's show. So until next time, get out and enjoy your Carolina Outdoors.